Fantastic. How's everybody?
Superb.
You guys enjoying?
Yeah. No doubt.
Now, I know a lot of people have some questions, and for a lot of different things. And I know there's a lot of space right now. A lot of people had to go right now. We're going long today, but some of the questions I've had, especially come up to me right now, says, do we need, especially one of them was, if your spouse is in the business or wants to be in the business, can you recruit that person? Your spouse, yes, you can. Your spouse can, or somebody in your household can be directly sponsored to you instantly after you get in. You don't have to wait generations after that. There's a communication. What they meant by that communication they send out from the company is that your spouse cannot get into another line that is not you. You cannot. Somebody else cannot recruit him. It has to be recruited by you if he lives in the same household as you. You understand? So let's put that. Some people think, oh, that means your husband can't come into. No, they all can be in the business.
Wow.
Okay? So that's one of the questions I heard a lot today. The other one, especially, how many of you have questions that have not been answered yet? A few of you? What would be your questions? Can you yell it out? The yellow? Can you raise your hand?
We try to help people avoid losing their carryover.
The carryover. Okay.
I'm talking about compensation. What I have understood is like when people are running for different ranks, there's a required auto ship that has to be in place, whether that's 80 or 100, if they're not setting it and forgetting it when they first get in. Okay? So I'm running for the director this week, for example. And my auto ship is already run for 40, but I know I need to have 80 points. But we've heard people say, well, you need to go on and change your auto ship to 80 so that when it runs the next time it's at 80, but go on and do it again right then. So let's say my auto ship already ran within my 30-day cycle for 40. But because I'm running for director, I'm told I need to change it to 80. So I go ahead and make another auto ship 80 that same week I'm running. Okay? So what happens the next month is somehow the auto ship goes back to 40. And because it does not accept the new $80 auto ship as my new cycle, my carryover is lost because they say that it's not active. So is that a glitch with the computer, or why does that? No. What you're saying is that, just for people that didn't hear, is that if you were to make an order in the auto ship portion of your back office, and you upgraded it to $80, for example, but the following month it charged you 40 again. But it didn't, since it didn't qualify you for 80, you lost those points. Is that what you're saying? It's saying that I missed the 30-day cycle because I didn't run another auto ship within that time.
Okay, what ended up happening was this. I don't think you went into the auto ship portion of it. I think it went into the single order portion of your back office. And if it ran that way, what ends up happening is your auto ship will still be 80. I'm sorry, 40. If you did not erase the first one around. So we have to delete that one. Like when you go to your auto ship, the auto ship portion of your back office, you'll notice one thing. You can literally delete your auto ship and then reset it to whatever you want. Okay? So automatically you're setting it up. Now, if you lost those points, I would suggest, especially if it just happened, just call the company, let them know what happened, and we can get those points back. Okay? No problem. But I mean, because we understand we make human error too. We're not gonna bite people on that also. But if it's right away, if it takes some time, it gets difficult to really put those points back. Anybody else have a question? Go ahead.
I have a question on that same line. Couldn't I have heard that if you go
to have is 80 points within that week cycle. And then you have 80 points, okay?
Could you explain how carryover helps you rank?
Carryover will help you rank if you have carryover in your pay leg, which you shouldn't have now because now that new rule. So carryover will help you rank, for instance, if you have nobody active on one side and it would be carrying over on your pay leg and all of a sudden you activate it and you have 3,000 points and then it'll make you rank. Right now it won't help you rank. So it's not going to help. There's a new rule.
Can you elaborate on it?
What's in the product is actually on the packages of the products. So you just let them know, you just show them the packages. It's very simple.
Can you elaborate on the new rule about carryover?
The what?
The rule about carryover with the rank.
The carryover?
Yeah, the new rule you just mentioned.
Well, to carry over, for instance, there's different type of carryovers. There's the power leg carryover that keeps adding on. And there was the pay leg carryover that doesn't happen anymore because you have to be qualifying every month, both sides, or they all erase. Now, so that doesn't happen anymore. Because now it pays you on it, so there's no carryover on the pay leg.
Right.
You get paid on that leg every week. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Two questions. If you meet someone and they were in the business, let's say 6 months ago, they're not doing the business any longer, how long do they have to, the last time they did a transaction, that you can enroll them as your partner? That's one question. Second question, could you expound upon, after we talk about, well, after we do our home parties, do a role play of close for us on how we close the entire room after we finish talking about the products and how do you sort people right there in the room who's going to be ready to sign up as a partner?
Fantastic. How do we sort through people? And the first question was, again?
If you meet someone that was doing the business, let's say...
Okay, I got you. If somebody disqualifies himself, and then how long does it take for you to be able to re-sign them up into a new position? Well, people, if you come out of the company, for instance, if you stop being in the company, you need 12 months before you can re-sign up underneath somebody else. Okay? If you were to send a letter of resignation, it's 6 months.
Oh, okay.
But you have to send a letter of resignation. From the moment it's accepted, it's 6 months completely. Okay? Very simple. On the second one, how do you close a room? Basically, it's ask them 3 questions. The way I do it is, when I do the 50-50-50 plan, and I close, I'm telling people, okay, you got 3 options here. Your first option, are you a customer? Because if you're a customer, you're a person that like what you heard about the products, but you're not interested in the business. And that's okay. But what we're going to do here, if you sign up today as a preferred customer of mine, I'm going to give you the privilege of having my cost for life. Even if prices go up in the future, you will always have my cost. Is that cool? 2, you can be an affiliate. An affiliate is a person who sees the opportunity, but you don't have the time. You can't lose that job because you got to pay the bills. You got to dabble, you got to put your foot into the water to see if it works before you do something. That's fine. If you decide to get into it as an affiliate, because we can work together to the point that we can fire your boss together. But that is up to you how much or how fast you want to grow. Or number 3, are you an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person that I'm looking for. An entrepreneur is a person that has vision. The people that, that has the want to be on stage. The entrepreneur is that leader, the person that wants to make the most money, grab the most people. The entrepreneur is the people that want to be on the stages, on the front of the covers, in the magazines, in the DVDs, on the videos, want to be an image for the company. An entrepreneur is a person who knows they will be successful today with the opportunity we gave you today. So who are you? Are you 1? Are you a customer? 2, are you an entrepreneur? And 3, You're affiliate, or 3, you're an entrepreneur. Now, when I do that, if you want to get a really strong closing, you kind of look at the people in the room. You got to see who's excited. And then you ask them, if they're the new people, if they're excited, you go, what are you? 1, 2, or 3? Don't ask the one that looks bored. You ask the one that looks excited. Once you get the first one that says, I'm an entrepreneur, then it creates a wave of people saying, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, everybody get together with the person who brought you. Sign them up. Let's sign them up right now. You sign them up. But you only give them 3 options, and one of the options is not, you want to say no? It's either you're a customer, let's buy some product as a customer. 2, you're an entrepreneur, let's get you in with a small package, or medium package, or a big package. Or it goes, or are you an affiliate? We'll get you with some packaging. What are you picking? See what I'm saying? It's that simple. And if you keep it simple, that's what it is. And people trust me. When you listen to this, they go like, wow, it's incredible. You know, and people sometimes will miss one. For instance, we'll see somebody who's very excited, and we'll say, what do you think? I want a customer. Like, oh my God. But you go, thank you, everybody clap. It's good. And then somebody else goes, I'm a customer too. Oh, thank you. And then it happened last night, actually. You know, but it's okay. We like customers too, because customer is quality. Now, I want you to understand one thing. People sometimes, have you ever heard the rumor that says, we don't sell nothing. We're not salespeople. We're recruiters. No. Every time you're recruiting, you're selling. And let's not cheat people. We're going to recruit. We have to learn to close. We have to learn to sell. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're salespeople. What we are actually basically pushing the opportunity to people and making sure they are taking it. That's it. That's what the business is about. They have a great products. We have phenomenal products. But the more people you push into the business, the bigger you get. Remember, okay? Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Every single one of us, no matter where you are in this world, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You know, you cannot stop the persistence of you being a person that wants to have growth, that wants to have a business that is thriving. It doesn't matter if it's full life changes or if you have a store somewhere in Little America. You want to have success. And that's what this is about. If you don't get your goals for yourselves, you're doomed on working on the goals of somebody else. And most people do not understand how powerful that is. It's either you're working in your dreams or you're working for the dreams of your boss. It's either you're working on your goals or you're working for somebody else's goals. So, where are you? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Imagine. I want you to ask yourself one question. If I could not fail, I would do what?
See.
What?
See.
If you could not fail at something, what would you do? What is it?
Win.
I can hear.
Go for whatever it is.
If you could not fail at anything, if you knew in your heart you could not fail,
Get up and do it.
would you jump out of a plane? You know you're not going to fail. It's going to be good. Would you do it?
Yeah.
If you knew you could not fail, would you go bungee cord trip? You know? You know what I'm saying? You could not fail. Nothing's going to happen to you. You know that already. If you could not fail, are you open to doing things that you wouldn't do now? Right? A lot of people don't do what is necessary to do to have success because they believe they will fail. And you yourself have to know that you're not going to fail if you do it. And even if you were to fail, it's a learning experience. And if we want to grow in this life, we need to have these learning experiences the most that we can. The more we fail, at one point we will have success. Now I'm asking you, if you could not fail, I want you to think at anything, whatever it is. If God gave you one thing you will not fail at, an opportunity, just one opportunity, what would it be? Some people say TLC. Some people say something else. Whatever it is, it's okay, but what would you do if you would not fail? See, that's the key. You gotta avoid the saboteurs of your dreams. Because there's a lot of people, they're going to come on their way to just stop what you're doing. Mark Twain once said, how many knew Mark Twain? Mark Twain once said, keep away from those who try to belittle your ambitions. Stay away. People do not realize how powerful that is. Those words I live by.
What's up?
My ambitions may not be as big as somebody else's, but guess what? There's nobody stopping me what my ambitions are. What I want to do for the world. What I want to do for myself. Always remember the people who helped you. Never forget the ones who believed in you at first. Because there's going to be a lot of people who never believed that you can do it, but when you accomplish it, they're going to say, I always knew you did it. You know what? Since you were little, I always knew you were going to be the master distributor of the company. Man, the minute you were born, I knew this guy is going to be a $5 million earner. No, they're telling you, don't do that. You're going to fail. Don't do that. You're going to do one of those things again? Oh my God, again? You already lost your cars. You already lost your family. What's going on? You're going to do that again? You're going to do that mistake again? Then you made it. He goes, oh, I always knew. I always knew. I mean, I saw it. But then there's the people that saw it. Maybe they knew that vision wasn't their vision, but they supported you. They helped you. They pushed you. Go do it. Go do it. You know what? I'm telling you right now, Scott, go for it. Go for it, Scott. Go. You're good. You're good. Man, you're good. You know what? You know what? I believe in what you're going to do. It's not for me, but I see you doing it. Do not forget those people. One of the issues people have in life is you forget these people. And sometimes when you forget these people, the ones who told you that you couldn't do it, you go back to them and you get to believe like they knew all their lives that they really did help you. It's not. Never forget the ones who brought you. Okay? Never start from scratch anything you do. Never. Use the information you have learned. Use the information you have obtained. Use the errors of other people. Learn the mistakes that other people have tried walking in the direction you are walking. And find out what they did to fix it. So you try to avoid these errors. Never try to start the whole thing from, you know what, if I'm building a car, I'm going to go look how they built the last one. I'm not going to try to recreate the engine and, see if, these tires work or the other ones work. You know what, why don't we just copy one that already works? Don't try to recreate everything. If you're coming from another company, things until life changes, and you had experiences and you learned, guess what? I know people that have been in all these other life companies, and they've been there for years, and they've earned a good chunk of change for like $5 a week or something. They're happy there for like 20 years because they're buying books and DVDs and CDs, and you know what, they're falling in love with what they're doing. You know what? That's perfectly fine. Don't throw that away. That's a university. That's knowledge. You learned. You picked up information. Don't throw that away. You invested that time. You went to the 4-year university at, whatever life school it was. But now you're at your profession. So you've got to put your profession to work. Use the knowledge you learned somewhere else and get yourself going in the direction you're going to have. Never be afraid of trying something new. Like my 5 steps to success, never be afraid. There's a lot of people are going to tell you, some people are going to say, that's not going to work, it's not true. But I mean, it's only, if I told it to you the way I told it to you, it just sounds logical. I know it's against the grain of everything that everybody else is teaching, but if I were to put, like for instance, in May 28, 2016, I'm having a huge event in California. And it's going to be with a lot of major multi-million-dollar earners from various companies. And what you're going to learn there, because it's going to be one of these mutual events where nobody's recruiting each other, but a lot of people are going to come from different places, different companies. But what you're going to learn is that a lot of these key leaders, no matter what companies they're from, the reason they're successful is because they teach the same thing. We teach people that you need to go through the steps. I don't know if you caught on in my 5 steps when I said, step 1 is product. Step 2, what is it? Prospecting. Number 3 is what? Number 4?
Sorting.
Number 5?
Duplication.
Now, just take a look at the steps. Number 1 is product. You get your product, you're prospecting with somebody, you figure out if they like the product, they have people for the product, everything else, and you recruited them into the business. It's actually the steps of recruitment that I just gave you. But I gave it to you in another form. The 5 steps to success teach you to close every single person you have that you approach. But how do you do it? By lowering the defenses they have. Because, see, the issue of the problem is not coming up to people and offering them the business. Because I can come up to you, hey, you know what, we can make a lot of money, I have this opportunity, and it's going to be fantastic. When can I come and sit down and show you? You're like, I got something, thank you very much. No, I don't want to listen. You know what, I don't want to try one of those things. You put that shield up, right? That protection. Or, if you're lucky, somebody's going to say, well, I got something else. And then you're stuck there at the IHOP or the Denny's or the Starbucks for another 7 hours trying to compete which compound is the best. Right? And you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose time. Time is precious. Time is valuable. We want to sort through as fast as possible through the people. So you've got to decide how you're going to do the business. And if you look at my 5 steps, especially the first 3, you're learning to recruit. Without telling you, you're recruiting. But you're doing it correctly. Because you're convincing the people that they need that product and they need to be part of the business. See what I'm talking about? And here's the kicker. If I were to come up to you and say, hey, let's just say, how many of you have been in one of these coffee companies before? A few of you? And they give you a coffee, maybe 20 sachets in the box, right? And then you went and gave 20 sachets to 20 different people. You gave it away. And then you come back and one may tell you, I liked it, because only one tried it. He goes, you want to buy a box? Oh, yeah, I'll buy a box. You want to get the bit? No, I want to buy a box. Now you're stuck just selling them, for one. But if I approach 20 people with my 5 steps, with the team, you know what's going to happen? I may get 19 new customers, but I'm going to get 1 distributor. But at least I got 19 customers that are going to continue on buying the product. Out of the 20, I retain all 20. I don't lose volume, I gain volume. And at the end, what creates wealth is residual. What creates residual is sales. What creates sales is volume. And that's what we're learning, and that's what we're teaching people. We gotta find people with the volume. We gotta find people to create the volume. It doesn't matter if they come in through customer or they come in through a distributor. We gotta get people, you know what? If you have $7,000 in volume coming in as a customer, is that good? That volume goes right into your pay lane. Now who's making the money? Automatically, you're an executive with 2,000 extra points. So, what I'm telling you this is, we got to look to what we're doing. We got to look how we're presenting ourselves. We cannot be afraid of trying something new. Remember that I want you to remember that the amateur built an ark. A group of professionals built the Titanic. We can't be afraid of trying something new. We can't be afraid of believing in ourselves. Okay? So it's very, very powerful. What happened to the Titanic? What happened to the ark? Everything that has success can be measured. Everything we do could be measured itself. You got to learn how to measure your success so you can obtain better success. What gets measured can get mismeasured. And we have to watch what we're doing every single time. You got to focus wisely on the direction you're taking every single day. I know some people are choosing whether you're going to run, whether you're going to walk, whether you're going to build your business or not.